everybody. This is a big day in the sense of announcing our first championship team of the new Olympiad.
I hope Mohammed still carries on, so he's the model for the men's side.
Mo, can you talk a little about that? You've been called a model there by your...
Yeah, not in looks.
Totally right. I think it's a big turnover after the Olympics. Maybe sometimes a disadvantage if you have so big success. So far, it's a big challenge. It is a big new crew in the past, and that's what we still try to do. Having those top athletes always as a model and on their side to develop the next winners. I think, and so far, yeah, we are a little bit. I would like to have some more, but that's how life is.
Talk a bit about the responsibility that you feel you have for leading the team in a way.
Yeah, of course, it's a responsibility, but it's just doing what I do on a daily basis. It's just still turning up, completing the training to the best of my ability, and not suppressing other people by telling them what to do. I think there's two types of leaders. There's someone that shouts a lot and screams about how you're meant to do something, and there's someone that just goes on, gets on and does it, and I think I'm the latter, hopefully.
Coming into the team in 2015, I definitely looked up to the likes of Catherine Ranger and Helen and Jess Eddy, so I guess it's kind of in a way taking over their role. So like Mo, I don't want to be dictating to anybody or saying this, that and the other, but I guess just leading by example and kind of just having that role like what they had for me, so that's what I'll try and do.
The team as it is now is a very, very solid team. Everybody seems to get on pretty well. The American way of how teams operate, they're quite loud, a lot of yelling, a lot of excitement. Myself and Cam have brought that into the squad a little bit. The older guys do get fed up sometimes when they want us to be quiet and just get on with the work, so we have to pipe down sometimes. The US collegiate system, it's very you go at it as hard as you can every time you're down at the boathouse, because you're only allowed to train for 20 hours a week. Whereas in this system, we have all the time in the world. Adjusting to that psyche of that there is time and not everything needs to be flat out did take a while to not buy into. I was already bought into it, but just to get used to.
I get quite pissy about stuff, and then you're not phased and very laid back. Because I think they throw a lot at you, don't they? And then you just kind of learn to absorb it and be less angry.
Yeah, I guess there is a lot of dealing with stressful situations. Obviously quite fiery coaches, and obviously Callahan's known for being a bit fiery at times too, but at the end of the day they do have your best interests in their mind. It taught me a whole lot about myself. That's why I learned to be a tough athlete, so I owe a lot to Mike and a lot to Washington.
I think most countries had a pair at the first World Cup, apart from Italy, Spain, Germany. Sorry, Spain were there. Italy, Germany and France. So I don't know if other countries will strengthen their pairs, and I don't know what those other three countries will have in store. I think our kind of attitude is that we're just going to train as hard as we can for this 2-week period and just deliver a really strong race, and at the end of the day that's all you can do, and if it's good enough, it's good enough.
Last year was a very stressful period. There was a lot on the line, and it was sort of drawn out till the very last regatta of the season. That's definitely spurred me on. It was something that I've taken with me, and even when I was away on sort of the 2-month break, it was something I would think about and reflect on and look forward to figure out what I would do differently and what I can make better. And that is spurring me on. It's making me want to focus more on my weaknesses and improve those rather than just relying on my strengths. And I think this year I've gone from strength to strength. When you start back, you have no idea who wants to carry on and who wants to knock it on the head. And when we started the season, I think returning Olympians heavyweight men's sweep, there were maybe 7 to 8 of us. And so with Jürgen, it was whether he wanted to make a top pair or a top 4, or maybe a top pair and then a development 4 with a development 8. But as some people decided that maybe this year wasn't quite for them and they dropped out, and then other people had hip surgeries, shoulder surgeries, then more places became available. And really looking at it now, there's only really been 4 of us that have been in full training since coming back. And so I think the choice to go with the 4 benefited me, and I think it's the right choice to make. And I'm definitely learning a lot from being in this boat with both Mo and Will. I've rowed with them for the past 4 years, but it's been on a very rare occasion I've actually been in a boat rowing with them. With Mo's power and his just range of movement, being such a big guy, he can bring a lot to that stroke seat. He rows very long, he rows very effective, and he's very powerful. And I think for us guys, we just got to back him up as best we can, and when myself or Will says go, we just got to hold on.
All I knew is that I wanted to be in the fastest boat, and that's always kind of my aim with rowing. So if the pair is the fastest boat, then that's great, I want to be in that. If the 4 is the fastest boat, I want to be in that. But yeah, I guess it was just focusing on my own training, especially coming back after the Olympics. I was very unfit and kind of I did want to continue, but you're kind of in that kind of moment where you're unfit. Like I said, you had a great time at the Olympics, you're trying to get back into training, it's cold, it's wet, it's in the winter, and the training's hard. So I kind of just had to really focus on my training and just hope that it would come back and just get my fitness back and row well. And I think that's what I've been doing. So getting into the pair and trying to make that the fastest boat is kind of been my aim, and it's so far so good. But we'll see. We'll watch the space.